Jacques and the Beanstalk, a Cajun Tale by Mike Artell. If you like them stories, I got one for you about a young boy who lived down by the bayou. They called this boy Jacques, and he lived in a house with his old mama and a little brown mouse. Now Jacques and mama, they show po, that's for true, and sometimes they worry what they gon' do. They ain't got no rice and they ain't got no bean. Their shells they all empty like you never seen. They know they need food and they need that food now. And so they decided to sell their old cow. Jacques tied up that cow with the rope he done found, then walked down the road that led right into town. When Jacques got to town, he go put up a sign that say, "Cow for sale, y'all. Now don't she look fine?" The people pass by and they say, "Whoo, she is nice. If that cow was twins, you could sell that cow twice." But one man walked by, then he stopped and walked back. He says, "Mice, that cow sure is fine. That's a fact. Now, how much you think that cow's worth, mon ami?" And Jacques smiled and say, "I don't know. You tell me." That man leaned way back and he squint both his eye. He pooch out his lips and he made a big sigh. He walked round that cow with his arms folded tight, then say, "I think 5 magic beans is about right." Jacques twists up his finger inside of his ear, 'cause he don't believe what he think he done hear. "5 magic beans? You must think that you funny. Them beans may be magic, but I need some money." The man say to Jacques, "You could live like a king. With 5 magic beans, you can have anything. Don't pass up this chance, 'cause it may be your last. If you want these beans, then you got to act fast." So Jacques, he think hard about what he should do. He know that them beans sound too good to be true, but he trade his cow for them beans that man got. And Jacques say, "Mama gonna thank me a lot." But that's not exactly what happened that day. When Jacques told Mama, sure, she don't say hooray. Instead, she done act like she gon' pass out. Her face turn all red and then she start to shout. "You went to the town with the cow and come back with nothing but 5 little beans in a sack? Now whatever made you believe that old man? Maze, all we got now is them beans in your hand." She snatch up them beans, then she squeeze them real hard. She throw them outside and they land in the yard. She turned round to Jacques and made a big frown. "Now go to your room until I can cool down." The next day, when Jacques go and look out the door, his eyes, they see something they don't see before. Out front in the yard, there ain't no space to walk, and that's caused the whole yard be full of beanstalk. That beanstalk is bigger around than a tree. The top is so high that it's too tall to see. "I knew that them beans had some magic," Jacques shout. "They grow in our yard when my ma threw them out. I bet if I climb past the clouds to the top, I'll find out exactly where this beanstalk stop." Jacques grab him a branch and then he start to climb. He get to the top, but it take a long time. Jacques found that the tip of that beanstalk done lay in front of a castle that's big, tall, and gray. The door of that castle be 20 feet tall. He can't get it open 'cause Jacques, he's too small. Jacques knock on the door and it don't take too long. The door swing wide open, but there's something wrong. The lady who answered the door look real mean. She don't look like nothing that Jacques ever seen. But then she saw Jacques and she say, "Ain't that cute? This boy by my door ain't as big as my boot." And soon a big smile came all over her face. "I made court bouillon. Maybe you'd like a taste." Then Jacques say, "Merci." That is my favorite dish. I love corbouillon when it got that red fish. That lady gave Jacques all the food he can eat, and Jacques, he so hungry, he eat it tout de suite. Then just as he finished and take the last bite, Jacques hears something loud, and it gave him a fright. The sound made his hair stand up straight on his head. The sound was the voice of a man, and it said, I smell me some cayenne when I sniff the air, so that means a Cajuns round here somewhere. It's time for my lunch, and I think I'll have some. When I find that Cajun, y'all fee, fi, fo, fum. Mon Dieu, said the lady, the giant come back. You better go hide for you end up his snack. Jacques jumped in the bread box and quick closed the door. And in walked the giant, and he say once more, I smell me some cayenne when I sniff the air, so that means occasions round here somewhere. It's time for my lunch, and I think I'll have some when I find that Cajun, y'all fee, fi, fo, fum. The giant, he sniff and he make his face frown. Now where is that Cajun? I know he's round. The lady shout back, what you talking about? There's nobody here. Don't you make all that shout. The cayenne you smell is what I sprinkled on the redfish when I made this nice cool bouillon. Now sit yourself down and I'll fix you a plate. This might be the best lunch that you ever ate. The giant sat down and he eat all that food, but that still don't help him get in a good mood. He pushed back his plate, then he stand on his legs and he roar, where's my chicken that lay golden eggs? Jacques think to himself, golden eggs? That's for true? That's something most chickens don't know how to do. A chicken like that would be something to see, and woo, think how rich that old giant must be. Jacques slip out the bread box and crawl on the floor and watch as the giant walk out the back door. He hear from the yard lots of cackles and squawks, and soon that old giant come back with the box. Inside of that box, Jacques could see on the straw the skinniest chicken that he ever saw. Jacques think to himself, now I know this ain't right. That chicken look like it done been up all night. Allons, shout the giant. I'm waiting on you. I want me some eggs made of gold, that's for true. Now lay me an egg, shout the giant real tough. The chicken starts shaking and she starts to puff. That bird closed her eyes, and when she tried her best, she lay one small egg of pure gold in that nest. But laying that egg where that chicken plumb out, when she fall asleep, that old giant he shout, wake up, you dumb bird. You got more work to do. You laid me one egg, but I gotta have two. But it was no use. That bird can't lay no more. The giant get mad and he storm out the door. Jacques climbed on the table and he said to the inn, wake up, Madame Pouillard. He'll be back again. If you want to go, I will take you with me. You can stay with the giant, or you can be free. I want to be free, says the chicken, for true. I ain't staying here, boy. I'm going with you. They climb off the table and jump on the floor just when that old giant walked back through the door. What's this? Say the giant. I knew I was right. I see me that Cajun right here in plain sight. I need some dessert, and I think you'll do fine. You run if you want, but you gonna be mine. Pardon, Monsieur Giant, Jacques say with a smile. You couldn't catch me if we ran for a mile. And then, just to make that old giant get mad, Jacques stick out his tongue. But don't do that. It's bad. Around and around that big castle they ran, the chicken and Jacques and the big giant man. Till finally they ran out the door and they found the place where the beanstalk done lay on the ground. Then Jacques and the chicken slide down that big vine and land on the ground by Mama's old clothesline. Before that old giant could start to slide down, Jacques chopped down the vine and it fall to the ground. And things sure were different for everyone then, 'cause Jacques let Mama have that magic hen. Mama treat that hen like it's her favorite pet. That hen lay more eggs than she ever did yet. I don't know for sure if that story is true, but down where the Cajuns live on the bayou, when they tell you them stories, they sure like to talk about that boy Jacques and his magic beanstalk.